let's do this, Brian. Nelson Asofa Solomona, he comes onto the bench for Lazarus Valepu. Panthers fullback Dane Laurie is out. Now, he's out. Thomas Jenkins, who he was at Penrith, played a couple of first-grade games or a handful of first-grade games, went to Newcastle, wasn't really cited too much there, comes back to Penrith.
Yeah.
So he likes getting them back. Dane Laurie was another who came back. He's been on fire in the New South Wales Cup. 3 tries, 4 try assists, 6 line breaks.
Playing fullback, Shug?
Playing centres last week.
Okay.
Centres.
Okay, well, other than Will Warbrick, the Storm are full strength. Hard to go against Storm.
Oh, hang on. I've had an epiphany.
Here we go.
I've had an epiphany.
Genders?
Does Casey McLean go to fullback? And Thomas Jenkins on the wing?
Okay.
Ooh, that could happen. That could happen. Sorry, go back to your question.
No question. I was just making a statement.
Oh, right.
Saying they'll be very hard to beat. But, the bounce back factor, which I love, they've been bashed pillar to the post. I'm talking about the Panthers here.
Yep.
I do feel that they may have had one eye on this game from last weekend because they've done this before, taking nothing away from the Chooks.
No.
And the rain. Now we've got the pouring rain. That's going to bring Penrith right back into it.
Don't you go out in the rain.
So don't touch those headphones. Don't touch those dials. Don't you go anywhere.
So,
the
so
9.5 start.
You think the rain suits Penrith?
Yes, I do. I do. I'm taking the 9.5.
Okay.
Chances are you're about to lose.
Gee whiz, they're just one by one. You go back to that first grand final when they were beaten by the Melbourne Storm in 2020 and in fact, that'd be a good exercise to see of tonight's game, how many played in that 2020 grand final. Brooksy's been in a real stat mood. He might be able to find it for us. Who would you suggest has more players playing tonight who played in that 2020 grand final?
Oh, 2020. I would still say Penrith.
Still say Penrith. Because Harold didn't play in that, did he?
No. I say Penrith.
Okay.
Chromie. Brian To'o will score.
Brian To'o will score.
Will score.
Okay.
Lock him in for a try.
Big night for him.
Big night.
Ooh, okay.
You watch him come back. Bigger and better.
All righty. That is the Panthers taking on the Melbourne Storm. What a big, big game that is. Can't wait for that. As I said, you'll have all that action through the SEN network. Jimmy Smith will be leading up the call there. Craig Bellamy. Here's what Craig Bellamy had to say on coming up against the Panthers after a loss.
I suppose, you'd be surprised by the result when you see what happened in round one, like at the end of the day, but we all know, in sport, it seems to be like our game, there's things that happen, that upsets happen and whatever, so at the end of the day, it is what it is, and obviously it wasn't ideal for Penrith, but, they've been in the last 5 grand finals and they know how to win, and so, we know they'll turn up here tomorrow night, with that sort of attitude.
Geez, I tell you what, Brooksy has been in stat form. The last 9 games at Amy Park, Penrith and the Melbourne Storm, Penrith have won how many?
1.
1.
Yeah.
1.
Yep.
And Brian To'o, your man, by the way, scored 9 tries in 12 games against the Melbourne Storm.
Oh, okay. I just thought because you had not a great game last week. I don't think they can win, but I'm taking the 9.5.
Okay, all right. Craig Bellamy talking about his starring fullback.
Certainly in the first half last week. Yeah, that was pretty sharp 40 minutes, and we just saw what he could do. And there's a lot of things he does that you don't see. His organisation of the defensive line, and obviously his organisation of with our attack as well. So, but it looked like he had a little bit more speed. And like I say, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can stay away from injuries and really kick on from here.
Oh, don't mention injuries, Craig. Don't put it out there. Don't put it out there.
That's what Oprah Winfrey used to say. Don't put it out in the universe unless you want it to come back.
Yep.
That's the secret. Have you read that book?
The secret? No. Did I read some of it maybe?
Do you believe in that sort of jazz?
I believe in the law of attraction, yes.
Really?
If you put something out there enough, I think you subconsciously head that way. Daily Chair Evans last week, our biggest threat's complacency. Well, that's what happened.
Yeah, okay.
Do you believe in it?
I do believe in it because we had this psychologist come to when I was playing at the Chooks, and the psychologist came in and said, how do you put it? Don't drop the ball. That's what he said.
Yeah, and all you hear is drop the ball.
Don't drop the ball. So you had to change the way you spoke. So it was catch everything.
That's right.
don't miss a tackle.
Yes, reframe it, Brian.
Reframe it. That's the word.
That's the reframing we're looking for, Brian. And by the way, the Melbourne Storm, Bill Belichick, no, not Bill Belichick, Andy Reid. Andy Reid is well known in NFL circles for being brilliant after a bye or a rest. First up, he's a first up specialist.
What does he do?
The Melbourne Storm, they are very similar to that. They won all 3 games out of the bye last year. We know their first up record. They are going to be something around the grounds. Hillstorm Hillary.
Our friend Hillstorm Hillary. Rain is clearing, 24 degrees.
Okay, we'll give you a 5-minute update on that. The weather in Melbourne.
This one, 5-4 for Penrith. If Nas plays 5-all.
Okay.
Sorry, Penrith, 5.
Yep.
But if Nas plays, it's 5-all. So
Okay, gotcha. Okay, righto. Here we go. Panthers captain Nathan Cleary requires 14 points to break the club's point-scoring record. Gee, he's done that at a young age. And halfback Jerome Hughes will make his 150th appearance for the Storm. I'm guessing the point-scoring record would be Ryan Girdler. I'm guessing. Let's continue our merry march, Brian, when it comes to the round 3
just on
preview.
That, just on Jerome Hughes. Imagine the Titans had Jerome Hughes and Jamal Fogarty.
Yeah, but they're not. Well, particularly Jerome. He's not the Jerome Hughes you know without going through the Bellamy.
You think so?
Nah, I don't think so.
Well, get him back. Buy back the farm.
Buy back the farm. Time for the round 3 preview to continue thanks to Hyundai. The Hyundai Keys Summer event is on now. Unlock offers of a range of Hyundai models tomorrow night. Scopey and I, we got 5 hours on air, including the call of the Warriors and the Roosters. This game is a big game. The Warriors go with the same 17 that beat the Seagulls.
Ooh, yeah.
But the cavalry's back for the Roosters. Collins, Leniu, Radley all return for the Chooks after a massive win. How does Coach Robinson drag them back from the clouds to take them to the land of the long white cloud?
That is the nice, Shug. You're going to use that? You calling this game?
I might use that.
Are you calling this game?
Yep.
Okay. That is the greatest thing that he needs to do because they were so young. A lot of these kids experienced beating the Panthers for the first time. So some senior players as well. Now you got to get on a plane. You got to go over there. It sucks playing over there. One good thing is it's not going to be. It's the 6 o'clock game, which I suppose will help a little bit. Oh no, it's what time is it over there?
Well, it better be 8 o'clock local time.
It doesn't go the other way. So it's going to be greasy over there. Kicking game's going to be hugely important. This was a tough one for me. I think the Warriors just sneak in.
You think the Warriors? Yeah, I think they do too, actually.
Do you?
I do.
It's a flip of a coin.
What about this, Brian?
Flip of a coin.
So the last 50 games that Dom Young has played, the last 50 games, he scored 48 tries. That's crazy, isn't it? That's a big number. 48 tries.
How many has he let in?
I think Ricky knows the answer to that. How many has he let in? Tourist? Is he on the line there?
Ricky, when you play
47.
Wow.
47.
Far
He's
out.
still in surplus, Brian.
He is.
No, I think he's a good player. He's quick.
He is.
All righty, Broncos and the Cowboys. Again, you can get this on the app through the Broncos radio. Madge has confirmed that Katoni Staggs is out, so not many changes to last week. Basically giving them all a reprieve. Jason Taumalolo is named to return at prop. Nanai.
Yeah.
The problem with the Nanai thing is that he's basically shared with the world, our man Toddy Payton, that there's an issue with him. So you can't tell me Madge is going, oh, is there now? If you didn't already know.
I think it's pretty well known.
Pretty well known.
But put him back on the right.
Yes.
Bateman can play left.
Yep.
I've seen Bateman play left.
Yep. He played left at the Tigers, didn't he?
Just play on the right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right foot step.
Yep.
Right arm carry.
Yep.
Comes off his right foot.
Yep.
Bit of an offload there.
Agree.
Big kid.
Yep. The Duff man's out, but we get Robert Derby and a derby. We love that. We absolutely love that. The Cowboys.
You've been on fire today.
There you go. Jackson Purdue, by the way, on the return tonight and preparing for the Broncos. Here's what young Jackson had to say.
Obviously, he's a freak with the ball, and he's a very good defensive player. And I think just knowing that what he needs to do and what he needs to bring to the team this week, he's going to come out and really work hard. And yeah, I'm very excited for him to be back. We'll dive into what they do, and they got a lot of fast players. There's Reece Walsh at the back, so I guess just connection as a team. We haven't really been too connected lately, so we're really focusing on that this week. And like I said, we'll dive into what the Broncos do best today and try to get a good visual of what they do.
Yeah, there you go. And this man, Adam Reynolds, what a career he's had. He snuck this up. 11 points he needs only, Brian, to move to third on the all-time NRL point scorers list. Cam Smith, he's the leader at 2,786. Hazem El Masri, about 300 odd behind him. Jared Tootsie Croker. So our man, which it paints the picture on Jared Croker. I mean, third all-time point scorer. It seems as though Adam Reynolds will soon pinch that and push our man Tootsie to fourth, which is still some feat. Sharks take on the Rabbitohs at Sharky Stadium, and this also live on SEN. So, folks, if you need your rugby league, you're listening to the right channel. Same 17 for the Sharkies that beat the Cowboys. We'll catch up with Craig Fitzgibbon a little bit later in the program. Jack Whiten is back in the centres. Fletcher Myers pushes out on the wing. Now, Tallis Duncan, I believe, well, he comes in at lock, doesn't he, Tallis Duncan, with Hubner going out, suspended. Michaeli Ravalawa is listed as 18th man, Brian. Does that say he's playing or not playing?
I think he might play.
Yeah,
the way Campbell Graham was talking about it the other day, I think he might be. He was putting it out there. Yep. He picked up on it.
The secret.
He just said, I've got to make a connection with Michaeli, but I'm sure we'll be able to do it. So I'm thinking that he might have been tapped on the shoulder to be playing.
Mate, he is a handful. He is an absolute handful. There's no doubt about that. Does he make his South Sydney debut at Shark Park? Adam Fanua-Blake, here's what he had to say. That Craig Fitzgibbon, what he expects of him.
At the end of the day, my job is to go out there and play footy and play to the best I can, and that's what I'll do, and I'll try and do that every week. And along the way, try and help a few young boys here, where I can, or anyone here, where I can, and just have those open and honest conversations with Craig and making sure that I'm doing everything right. Oh, he just wants me to play my game. Obviously, pretty well aware of how I can play, and he just wants me to sort of, help set the tone for the team. Capitalise on the other team's errors, and take a bit of weight off Nico and Cam's shoulders.
Is he South Sydney Junior?
Yeah.
And Fanua-Blake?
Yep. Said he's mascot boy.
Mascot boy. The Bunnies are aiming for a 3-0 start. What an achievement that would be for the coach and all the concerns they've had there with Wayne Bennett at South Sydney with the injuries and players unavailable, suspended and so forth. Sharks, Ronaldo Militalo has scored 37 tries in 33 games at Shark Stadium. If they go with Ravalawa, he's got a good record against the Sharkies try scorer-wise as well. Sammy Stone Street, 8 tries in his past 5 games. He is wearing a cape. Samuel Stone Street. Coming up next, the rest of the matchups in round 3. All thanks to the run home with Joel and Fletch, courtesy of the Hyundai Keys to Summer event, which is on now.
Now, I just want to read this text out before we go. This is from Resin Fingers Ray. Happy anniversary, Sugar. It's your anniversary,
you, mate.
20 years.
20 years.
Here is your annual poem from Resin Fingers.
Thank you.
I'm not good at rhyming. I'm glad I married you and not Misty Hyman.
Dolphins, back to Redcliffe they go. KO Stadium, the West Tigers after an emphatic win there at Combank Stadium over Parramatta. Same 17 for the Dolphins. However, Jack Bostock and Finifawaki are both listed in the reserve, so they could change that. Dream Buller, there's some concerns around him for a foot concern. Heath Mason would be the man. He started the year at fullback for the West Tigers in Dream Buller's absence. So interesting to see how it's a very tough one to pick. The Dolphins, they had the concerns of the cyclone, then a short turnaround to go back to New South Wales. I just kind of feel like things may steady here. They're back at KO, and this could be the first win of the year, Brian.
I feel so, and if they get Jackie Bostock back in, that's the only reason why I went for the Dolphins is because of Dream Buller. It's a foot injury, is it?
Yeah,
Or
it is.
Lower leg
Yep.
injury. So he's a gun. So I feel that he may be out.
Okay, all right. Felise Kaufusi, here's what he had to say about the Dolphins' tardy start to the season.
I don't think concern's the right word. I've been through a lot of adversity throughout those first 2 rounds. It's changing our game. Then back on the road again, round 2. And to be honest, we're looking forward to being back at home this week in front of our own crowd and a full week of training with no interruptions, so to say. So we're looking forward to this week. Yeah, look, I think you just got to look in your own backyard, myself included. It was a pretty poor performance from the weekend, and I think we fixed ourselves up first and foremost, and we're not looking at point a finger. I think that goes a long way as well. So, look, it's only the start of the year. I know it's the first 2 rounds, and we'd love to get a win this weekend to get our campaign going.
All righty, there you go. Slick, quick surface, KO Stadium. Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow loves it there. 6 tries in his past 3 games.
He hasn't had much of a chance. He's been playing in that greasy conditions.
Yep.
It'll be nice and dry for him.
Yep, sure will. Yep. Titans take on the Knights, Seabus Super Stadium. Titans, same situation as the Dolphins. They're taking on a team who's up and about, and they are at home looking for that first win. No Khan Pereira. He's too quick for his own hamstring. He's out of the game. Tony Francis, we've seen a bit of him. He comes onto the wing to replace him. The Knights are without Leo Thompson, Kai Pearce-Paul, Brodie Jones, and Adam Elliott, they're the two to come in and replace him. Dylan Lucas injured himself at training. He's in some doubt as well. And this young kid from Orange will make his debut, Jermaine McEwen.
I've followed you in here with the Titans. Back at home, no Leo Thompson and KPP, both out. I really like this KPP.
Yeah, you do.
I love watching
something a bit
play.
ungamely about him.
Yeah. So, and now the Dylan Lucas injury. So, gee, I can't believe I'm tipping the Titans here. Yeah, Titans.
I think the Titans. Well,
you're special.
That's my best bet of the week, Titans.
Okay.
I've never done that before in my life, and I may never do it again, depending how this weekend pans out. The Knights haven't won 3-0 to start the season for 10 years, so could they do that? Eels take on the Bulldogs, CommBank Stadium. Dean Hawkins comes in for Ronnie Volkman, who paid the price. The Fox listed amongst the reserves. Burton and Kickow out. Bailey Hayward, we like him. He goes to 5'8". Satili Tupanua starts in the back row for Kickow. The Eels have won 4 of their past 5 against the Dogs.
Yeah, I know you're keen on the Eels.
If the Fox plays, I just think there's enough reasons and change that they'll find a way. I don't know why. I've just got this.
All right.
I
can't follow you win. I'm on the Dogs. Dogs away.
They got to sort that edge defence out. It is problematic. Seagulls and the Raiders. 4 Pines Park. That'll close out the round. That's also live on SEN. Daly, Cherry Evans, he'll be good to go. Turbo's out officially. Tola Kula comes back into the side. Tauke Aho comes into the side. I don't know, I was talking about, been Brooksy or maybe the Beak, talking about the Bulldogs. Did they not withdraw because they had concerns around Tauke Aho maybe failing a medical?
Yeah, was that 2024, started 2024?
Yeah. And he's missed a game. Oh, yeah, well, anyway, we'll keep an eye on that.
He was good his first game.
He was very good. He was very, very good.
Leg speed.
Yep. Well done to Tamale because he had the opportunity in Vegas and hasn't looked back since. So young Hopper is out, which is a shame because he would have got to take on his brother there at 4 Pines Park. Xavier Savage comes back into the side. The Mule is out, and Morgan Smithies replaces him.
Oh, his hand. Far out. He's a great player. He's got very unlucky with injury, the Mule.
Josh Papali'i, he'll move past you. Geez, Tootsie Croker's records are under siege this week. You've got Adam Reynolds to score 11 points to jump into the third-time all-time point scorer. And now Josh Papali'i will move past Jared Croker to go outright second on the club's all-time appearance. So he's squeezed between Crokers. Jason Croker has the most games, Jared Croker. And if all things go to plan for Papali'i, by the end of the season, he will be the number 1 Raider for games played. He is about 10 behind Jason Croker. So there you go. That was the round 3 NRL preview. Thanks to Hyundai. The Hyundai Keys of Summer event is on now.
You're still here? We'll see more on the Joel and Fletch socials and catch us live on SEN Radio. Because if you don't, you're an A grade. But if you do, you're the absolute Mickey.